train home I read it twice, left it sitting on red. One stop early, I'll just walk, the sakura's almost gone. The screen lit up at 12:03, you up, I locked it back, bought a hot canned corn, sat on the curb, watched a stray cat watch me back. There's a street light that buzzes wrong outside the second alley. I never told anyone, but I count its blinks to fall asleep. Last train home, I read it twice, left it sitting on red. One stop early, I'll just walk, the pedals are letting go. There's a thing my mom used to say, don't come home with a frown. So I practice my face in the glass of the convenience store door. The cashier doesn't know my name, but she nods like she does. 300 yen for a small kindness, that's a deal I can't afford. Last train home, I read it twice, left it sitting on red. One stop early, I'll just walk, I'll answer in the morning maybe. I'm not sad, I'm just slow, tonight I need it slow. The cherry tree on block 4 will be bare by Sunday, I know. Last train home, I read it twice, left it sitting on red. One stop early, I'll just walk, and tomorrow I'll be fine, probably. I'll answer when I wake.
Three p.m. The second cup went cold while I was here. I forgot what I was looking for around an hour ago. There's a dust beam by the blinds that only shows up now. It's the same one as yesterday, just 1 degree to the left. I open 17 browser tabs, close 16 and a half. The half is a recipe for a soup I'm not going to make tonight. 3 p.m. The second cup went cold while I was here. I made it twice and drank it once. That counts for something, right? The cat next door is on the rail. She's looking at my desk. I think she thinks I should clock out, and honestly, she's not wrong. The afternoon is a long room with a door at either end, and I keep forgetting which one I came in through this morning. 3 p.m. The second cup went cold while I was here. I'll heat it up or I won't. Either way the day will turn. I used to think I'd done a lot by now in someone's count, but the dust beam doesn't keep a score, and neither does the cat. 3 p.m. The second cup went cold while I was here. I'll close the laptop, walk the block, and the day will start again, maybe. The dust be moved.
The tire's been flat for a week. I keep saying tomorrow. The pump is 20 steps away, and tomorrow keeps arriving. The station closes at 11. I lock it up at 10. The chain is rusting at the joint, but the seat still knows my legs. There's a sticker on the handlebar from a festival in May. The paper's curling at the edge, but the colors are holding on. The tire's been flat for a week. I keep saying tomorrow, and tomorrow keeps arriving soft the way good days stand. The boy in 3B has a key. He fixed his chain last week. I watched him kneel on the concrete with a wrench he didn't own. I almost asked. The words got soft and wind, but he nodded once on his way out, and I think that nod was kind. The tire's been flat for a week. I keep saying tomorrow, maybe tomorrow I'll just walk to the pump and back, that's all. A flat tire isn't broken, it's just waiting for some air, and the air is 20 steps away. 20 steps is fair. The tire's been flat for a week. I keep saying tomorrow, and tomorrow keeps arriving, and I keep arriving too. 20 steps, it's all.
Park bench, 7 in the morning. 15 minutes I can keep before I become someone again. I sit here just to be no one. The school crossing guard waves twice at every kid she sees. She doesn't know me, she waves anyway. That's a small free thing. A salaryman is asleep on the next bench. His mouth is slightly open. I won't take a picture, I won't laugh. I'll just let him have these 10 minutes. Park bench, 7 in the morning. 15 minutes I can keep before I become someone again. The pigeons don't ask who I am. There's a grandma feeding crows. She talks to them in soft Kansai. Are you here again, you handsome thing? I wanna age into that. The morning is a fair contract. You give an hour, you get one back. And nobody checks your ID at the gate of 7 a.m. Park bench, 7 in the morning. 15 minutes I can keep before I become someone again. I'm being someone right now too. I thought being no one was a break from all the someone I do. But the bench remembers my coat, and the crows remember the grandma park bench. 7 in the morning, 15 minutes I can keep. I'll stand up when the clock says go, and maybe today I'll be kinder. The crows took off.
We said next spring, you said it twice. I'm wearing the mask you bought me. The pollen doesn't know you left. The drugstore had a sale today on the brand we used to fight about. I bought yours just to have it home. I don't even need that kind. A coworker said you look tired. I said it's just the season. That was true in a smaller way than she could ever guess. We said next spring, you said it twice. I'm wearing the mask you bought me. The pedals are doing it alone. There's a photo I forgot to delete on the second screen of my phone. Your hand is in the frame, just yours, holding up a takoyaki box. I don't open it, I don't crop it, I let the both of us stay. Some things you don't have to choose to keep, they just keep being there. We said next spring, you said it twice. I'm wearing the mask you bought me. I think you'd be glad I did. A promise isn't always a lie. When the spring comes without you, sometimes it's just a love letter posted to an address that moved. We said next spring, you said it twice. I'm wearing the mask you bought me. And next spring, I'll buy my own. The pedals new.
New apartment, second night. 3 boxes I won't open. The fridge is the only voice in here. It hums like it knows me. The previous tenant left a hook on the wall above the sink. I don't know what they hung from it, but I respect the small dent. The light switch is in the wrong spot for the muscle I brought from before. My hand reaches left, the light is right. That's how new becomes home. New apartment, second night. 3 boxes I won't open. The fridge is the only voice in here. And tonight, that's enough. I bought a single plate today at the store on the corner. The clerk asked anything else. I said just the plate. thanks. The walls are thin, the neighbor cooks some kind of garlic late. I won't complain, I'll learn the schedule of someone I'll never meet. New apartment, second night. 3 boxes I won't open. I'll get to them by Friday, probably. The fridge can wait with me. Home isn't where you put the boxes. It's where the hum starts to sound right. I know I live here when the fridge stops being the only voice. New apartment, second night. 3 boxes I won't open. The fridge is the only voice in here, and I answered it once softly. The hum kept going.
First paycheck Friday evening. Check the number 3 times. I don't know what mom needs anymore. I'm proud and I'm a little lost. I walk past the department store with the bag I didn't buy. The escalator went up alone. I went home with the question still. The ATM screen said the amount in a font that felt too big. I covered it with my left hand, like the number could hear me. First paycheck Friday evening. Check the number 3 times. I don't know what mom needs anymore. I'll ask her on Sunday, maybe. The girl at the register today was new, her hands were slow. I waited longer than I had to. I think she needed someone to wait. I bought a small cake on the way home, cut it in half before I sat. One for me, one wrapped in the fridge for when I figure out who for. First paycheck Friday evening. Check the number 3 times. Mom called and said, did it come through? She didn't ask for anything. Maybe what she needs is just to know I'm the one checking the number, not her, not for me anymore. And that's a kind of gift too. First paycheck Friday evening. Check the number 3 times. I called her back and said, thanks for everything. She said, go buy yourself something. The half cake waited. La la la.
Convenience store, 2 a.m. Stood by the freezer 5 minutes. The lights are saying something to me. I picked the same one begin. The clerk has the night shift face, half awake, fully kind. He scanned the barcode 3 slow times and nodded like we both knew. The chime when the door slides open sounds different at this hour, like the building is whispering, you're allowed to be here too. Convenience store, 2 a.m. Stood by the freezer 5 minutes. The lights are saying something to me, and tonight I almost listened. There's a guy by the magazine rack. He hasn't moved in 10. I think he's reading the same page twice. I think I am too, in a way. The ice cream is the same as last week. Same flavor, same plastic spoon. I open it walking out the door. The night air bites it cold. Convenience store, 2 a.m. Stood by the freezer 5 minutes. I picked the same one again. The clerk smiled like he knew that. The same thing twice is not a failure. It's a hand reaching back to me, saying this still tastes like comfort. At 2 a.m. that's plenty. Convenience store, 2 a.m. Stood by the freezer 5 minutes. I picked the same one again, and the night made room for me. The door chimed soft.
Balcony 3 months in. Just a night, just one. The neighbor's TV is laughing through the wall. I lit it anyway. The lighter clicked 4 times to start. I almost took that as a sign. I didn't. The 4th one worked, and the first drag tasted like 19. There's a moth that lives in the rail. She comes back every August. I let her stay, I owe her that. She's the only witness to this. Balcony 3 months in. Just tonight, just one. The neighbor's TV is laughing through the wall, and so am I, a little. I quit for 90 days, that's real. I count those, they're mine. Tonight isn't subtraction, it's a tax on a piece I built with my hands. The cherry of it glows like a small planet in the corner of my left eye. I won't take a picture, I won't post. Some things aren't for the feed. Balcony 3 months in. Just tonight, just one. I'll put it out before the laugh track ends and start again tomorrow. Quitting isn't a straight line, it's a long, kind, crooked thing. The 90 days are not erased by a tax I pay tonight. Balcony 3 months in.
Sunday noon, 14 scene, 0 of them was me. I drafted and I deleted. The group can do without my voice. The thread was about a restaurant I haven't been to in a year. Everyone agreed about a dish I never ordered somehow. I typed out go next time, held it there for 40 seconds. Then I held down delete instead and put my phone face down. Sunday noon, 14 scene, 0 of them was me. I drafted and I deleted, and the sun stayed where it was. There's a kind of friendship that asks for nothing on a Sunday, and another kind that asks for too much on the same 14% bread. I'm not mad, I'm not gone, I'm just under a different sky today, doing dishes I've put off for days, with music only in my room here. Sunday noon, 14 scene, 0 of them was me. I drafted then I deleted. The thread will not collapse for it. Silence is a kind of answer. The thread knows how to read. I'll show up on Tuesday with a joke, and nobody will mention this. Sunday noon, 14 scene, 0 of them was me. I drafted, then I deleted, and then I made some lunch for one. The phone stayed quiet. La la.
Highway half a tank, no destination set. Home exists but I'm not going. The road kept asking and I said yes. The toll gate guy was kind tonight. He nodded like a friend. I paid the 800 yen and went. And the gate forgot me by the next car. The lane markers are doing their job. Steady, dotted, white. I matched them and I don't think about anything for one whole minute. Highway, half a tank, no destination set. Home exists but I'm not going. The radio keeps my secrets. There's a sign for an exit I don't take, a town I've never been to. I tap the blinker, then I cancel. The car forgives me and goes on. I'm not running, I'm not lost, I'm just renting the world for an hour. The gas gauge says I'm honest about how far I'll go. Highway, half a tank, no destination set. Home exists but I'm not going yet. The word is yet. Some nights the road is the answer, and the question is just where to turn around. I'll know the spot when I see it tonight. It's the one with the vending machine. Highway, half a tank, no destination set. I turned around at the vending machine and bought a cold tea on the way back. The road let me go.
26, that's ideal. Me in the AC every August. The hum is keeping me company tonight, and I'm pretending that I sleep. The ice cube melted in the glass before I drank the second sip. The condensation made a ring on a magazine I won't read. The ceiling fan has a tick at the same spot every turn. I count the ticks like a slow clock. Up to 40, then I'm out. 26, that's ideal. Me in the AC every August. The hum is keeping me company tonight, and tonight that's a kind friend. The mosquito in the corner is patient. He's been waiting since 10. I let him have the inside of my ankle. We'll call it rent for the room. The hum changes pitch when it's tight, goes lower like a sigh. I respect that I do the same thing at about the same hour. 26, that's ideal. Me in the AC every August. The hum is keeping me company tonight, and the night is keeping the hum. Loneliness is just an empty room with a machine that breathes for it. But the machine is on my side, and the room is mostly fine. 26, that's our deal. Me in the AC every August. The hum is keeping me company tonight, and I'm grateful for that quietly. Fan tick twice.
Beach, September dusk. The shack is boarded up. The sand is just lukewarm now, and the wind is doing both jobs. The vending machine outside is on, selling cold drinks to no one. I bought one anyway to be kind, and held it like a small promise. The lifeguard chair is empty white, the flagpole has no flag. Someone wrote a name in the sand. The tide is half a meter from it. Beach, September dusk. The shack is boarded up. The sand is just lukewarm now, and the gulls don't ask for chips. There's a couple at the other end, walking slow, not holding hands. I think they used to, I think they will. The dusk is patient with them. The cold drink got colder in my hand. The tide came in another inch. The name in the sand is half gone now, and that feels exactly right. Beach, September dusk. The shack is boarded up. The sand is just lukewarm now, and I am too. That's okay. Off season is a small grace. The beach gets to be just a beach. No one's selling anything The shack is boarded up. The sand is just lukewarm now, and I walked home with sand in my shoes, gladly. The tide kept arriving.
Subway, wrong direction. Missed my stop 3 ago. I stayed on past my exit and rode it to the end on purpose. The advertisement above my head was for a dentist in a town I've never been. He smiled at me for 14 minutes. We had a thing going almost. The school kid 2 seats down was asleep. Backpack still on mouth slightly open. The car rocked us in the same direction like the line knew we were tired. Subway, wrong direction. Missed my stop 3 ago. I stayed on past my exit. The end of the line was kind. The terminus had a vending machine and 1 bench facing nothing. I sat for 8 minutes before the next car back. Drank a hot and corn slowly. The conductor passed me, didn't ask why I was riding the wrong way. He just nodded the small nod that city workers say for kids and tired men. Subway, wrong direction. Missed my stop 3 ago. I stayed on past my exit and I got home about an hour late. Fine. Sometimes the wrong way is a small gift. The city gives you a back room when nobody asks if you're going home, and nobody asked why you're not. Subway, wrong direction. Missed my stop 3 ago. I stayed on past my exit gladly, and the line carried me through. The car rocked soft. The car rocked soft.
Festival without you. Bought takoyaki for 1. 6 pieces and a wooden pig. The fireworks knew anyway. The yukata girls walked in a line, 5 of them laughing in step. The light from the lantern caught the edge of a hair clip I think I gave you. I didn't follow, I didn't look back, I just held my paper plate. The first piece was harder than I planned, I let it cool, I had time. Festival without you. Bought takoyaki for 1. 6 pieces and a wooden pig. The night sky did the rest. The first firework was the small kind, pink, the way you'd have liked. The second was that big white one that sounds like the chest doing something. A kid on his dad's shoulder shouted, "Mom, did you see it toward the sky?" The mom said yes, I think she meant it. The fireworks didn't need her to. No festival without you. Bought takoyaki for one, 6 pieces and a wooden pick, and I finished every one of them. Going alone is not a lesser version, it's just a different shape of going. The sky doesn't know you're missing one. The sky just gives what it gives. Festival without you. Bought takoyaki for one, 6 pieces and a wooden pick, and I walked home with the sound still in me. The last firework faded.
Laundromat, October rain. 35 more minutes to think. Forgot to bring anything to think about. The dryer is doing my work. The vending machine has a hot oolong that tastes like the 80s. I bought one and held it with both hands, not for the drink, for the warmth. The fluorescent light is doing that thing where it almost flickers but doesn't. There's a notice on the wall in faded ink asking us to be quiet after 10. Laundromat, October rain. 35 more minutes to think. Forgot to bring anything to think about, and tonight that's a small mercy. A grandma came in with the basket. She nodded once, I nodded back. We didn't speak, we sat across watching different machines spin. The rain outside is the steady kind, the kind that doesn't try to be art, just water doing what water does, falling on a sidewalk that needed it. Laundromat, October rain. 35 more minutes to think. Forgot to bring anything to think about, and the dryer kept its rhythm. Sometimes the empty mind is the gift you came here to receive. The clothes will dry, you'll walk back home, and nothing will be solved gently. Laundromat, October rain. 35 more minutes to think. Forgot to bring anything to think about, and I walked out smelling like clean cotton. The grandma stayed.
Crosswalk, evening slow. The green man started blinking. I just kept walking my speed. I don't run for the light anymore. There was a time I would have sprinted when the count hit 5 and dropped. I would have made it breathing hard, and nobody would have noticed at all. But tonight the count went 3, 2, 1, and I was still in the middle of the road. The cars waited, they didn't honk, and the next light was 40 seconds away. Crosswalk, evening slow. The green man started blinking. I just kept walking my speed, and the world made room for that. The driver in the lane closest was a woman about my mom's age. She didn't look angry, she looked patient, like she'd done a lot of waiting too. I waved a small thank you with 2 fingers, she waved back with 1. That's the kind of language a city learns after everyone gets a little tired. Crosswalk, evening slow, the green man started blinking. I just kept walking my speed, and tonight nobody was late. Not running is a quiet choice, you make it 30 more or less. The light will turn, it always does, and you'll catch the next one fine. Crosswalk, evening slow, the green man started blinking. I just kept walking my speed, and I got to the other side eventually. La, 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 la. The next light came. La, 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 la.
Kitchen 8 in the morning, set out to wash only 1. Muscle memory hasn't moved out yet, and the second mug just keeps showing up. The coffee maker holds 2 cups, that's the math the machine knows. I poured 1, then I poured the other, then I sat down with only mine. The window over the sink looks east, the sun was doing what suns do, and the second mug just steamed alone, like a guest who'd already left. Kitchen 8 in the morning, set out to wash only 1. Muscle memory hasn't moved out yet, and I'm in no rush to evict it. 3 weeks is nothing to a body that learned a person's shape over years. The hands know how to set the table for a meal that's no longer scheduled. I'll pour the second mug down the drain, or I won't, I'll wait it cold. Either way the day starts at 9, and the kitchen knows the drill. Kitchen 8 in the morning, set out to wash only 1. Muscle memory hasn't moved out yet, but I notice that's a start. Forgetting is a slow trade. You give the hands a new map, the old one stays folded in the drawer. You don't throw it out, you just don't open it. Kitchen 8 in the morning, set out to wash only 1. Muscle memory hasn't moved out yet, and tomorrow I'll try setting out 1. The second mug cooled.
Last bus 11:47. Driver and me, that's it. He didn't ask me to leave at the end. He let me sit through the loop. The seats were warm from the day shift. Hundreds of people had been here. I sat in the third row on the left, and the night made me a little smaller. The street lights passed in a steady count, 16 of them till the bridge. The driver hummed something I almost knew, and the bus took the corners kindly. Last bus, 11:47. Driver and me, that's it. He didn't ask me to leave at the end, and the heater did its quiet work. At the terminus he turned the engine off and kept the heater running 10 more. He read a paperback, didn't look at me like privacy is something you grant. I got off at the proper stop after about once he nodded back. That nod is the entire reason I'm telling you about tonight. Last bus, 11:47. Driver and me, that's it. He didn't ask me to leave at the end, and the city was kinder for it. There's a kindness that doesn't speak. It just keeps the heater on. You take it home, you don't repay it. You pay it forward at some next stop. Last bus, 11:47. Driver and me, that's it. He didn't ask me to leave at the end, and I went home a little less alone. The engine cooled.
Sunday bath, 40 minutes, 4 hours till Monday starts. The wrinkles in my fingers agreed with me about almost everything tonight. The water cooled by half a degree every 6 or 7 minutes. I added hot, I lost the track of when I last looked at the clock. The ceiling has a small brown ring from a leak a year ago. The landlord painted half of it. I respect the honesty of the rest. Sunday bath, 40 minutes, 4 hours till Monday starts. The wrinkles in my fingers agreed with me about the smaller things, mostly. There's a calendar on the wall outside the bathroom door. I can see the corner. Monday is just a square of paper until tomorrow, and it's the day. I read the back of the shampoo twice for the listed second ingredient. I don't remember what it was, but I felt informed for 30 seconds. Sunday bath, 40 minutes, 4 hours till Monday starts. The wrinkles in my fingers agreed with me, and the steam fogged up the mirror. A long bath is a kind of prayer that doesn't ask for anything specific. You just stay in the warm water until the warm water says go. Sunday hours till Monday starts. I got out clean and slightly braver, and the steam followed me to bed. The mirror clear.
La 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 la. Rooftop, 12:30. Hacking corn from the machine. I sat with my back to the warning sign, and the city did not stop me. The sign behind me says no entry in a font that's been there since the 80s. I'm not breaking anything by sitting here, just rearranging the rules a little. The can warmed my left palm slowly. The lunch break was 30 more minutes down below. The office hum kept going, and up here the wind had room. Rooftop, 12:30. Hacking corn from the machine. I sat with my back to the warning sign, and the autumn sky was generous. The smoker from the 7th floor came up. He nodded once, didn't say a thing. We both knew we weren't supposed to be here. We both knew nobody minded much. The plane overhead was going somewhere with a number on its belly I couldn't read. I waved at it because nobody was watching, and nobody was watching back. Rooftop, 12:30. Hacking corn from the machine. I sat with my back to the warning sign, and I went back down at 1, refilled. Some rules are just polite suggestions that nobody enforces in autumn. The roof was made for this exact moment, and the warning sign agreed. Secretly, rooftop, 12:30. Hacking corn from the machine. I sat with my back to the warning sign, and the afternoon went better for it. La 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 la. The smoker stayed.
Old playlist 3 years gone. Track 1 and I was 23 again. I didn't recognize who I was, but he was still there, listening. The shuffled order was wrong tonight. The first song came up first by mistake, and the first song knew my old phone number and the address I lived at briefly. The kid in that song was confident about things he had no business being. I wanna send him a quiet text that just says, easy, you'll be fine. Old playlist 3 years gone. Track 1 and I was 23 again. I didn't recognize who I was, and I missed him a little, honestly. He thought the world was a math problem he'd solve with the right kind of grind. He hadn't met the kind of tired that doesn't go away with sleep. But he had the song picked out for the day. He finally believed in himself. He didn't know the song works anyway, whether or not the day arrives. Oh, playlist 3 years gone. Track 1 was 23 again. I didn't recognize who I was, but I let him have the 4 minutes. You don't owe your old self anything, and he doesn't owe you the math. You're just two strangers sharing one apartment across the floorboards of a song. Old playlist, 3 years gone. Track 1 and I was 23 again. I didn't recognize who I was, and I added a new song to the bottom. The playlist kept going.
Heater on the low setting, thick socks, blanket tee. Any hand would do tonight, but none are knocking on the door. The kettle clicked off 20 minutes ago. I haven't gotten up for it. The cold ceramic mug on the floor watches me like a patient cat. The window has a small fog patch where my breath landed earlier. I drew nothing in it. I didn't have a thing that felt worth saying to glass. Heater on the low setting, thick socks, blanket tee. Any hand would do tonight. And tonight, that's an honest thing to say. I'm not falling, I'm not lonely in the dramatic way, just a small way, like a draft under a door that nobody installed. The weather stripping for this winter. The radiator clicks at 7 minutes past. Reliable as a friend who texts, are you eating, are you sleeping right? And I lie a little, like usual. Heater on the low setting, thick socks, blanket tee. Any hand would do tonight, so I held my own. That counts. The heater doesn't promise to fix it. The heater just keeps the room above 40. That's the deal we made in November, and it's holding up its end. Heater on the low setting, thick socks, blanket tea. Any hand would do tonight, and the morning will come regardless. The radiator clipped.
Steam from a bowl, 10:30. Fog my glasses for a second. Nobody to wipe them for, and the noodles waited politely. The counter seat is built for this, a long narrow board facing nothing. The chef nodded once when I sat, and then we both got back to our jobs. The broth had that good kind of cloudiness that takes a slow afternoon to build. I drank one sip before the noodles to pay respect to whoever stirred it. Steam from a bowl, 10:30. Fog my glasses for a second. Nobody to wipe them for, and I wipe them on my sleeve. Fine. The salaryman 3 stools down was slurping in a measured way, like he'd worked out the exact loudness that a man can produce alone. I matched his tempo without meaning to. We were a small percussion duet. The chef wiped his counter to our rhythm, and nobody acknowledged any of it. Steam from a bowl, 10:30. Fog my glasses for a second. Nobody to wipe them for, and the bowl was empty by 11. Eating alone is not the loneliest thing. Far from it on most nights. It's just one person and one bowl, both honest about what they want. Steam from a bowl, 10:30. Fog my glasses for a second. Nobody to wipe them for, and I bowed once at the door, walking out. The chef nodded back.
La 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 la. Train station 614. 6 of us, same direction. Nobody said hi, but it was kind. And the platform light was new and white. The vending machine had the hot coffee with the picture of an old mountain. I bought one and held it like small ticket for a journey the train wasn't selling. A man in a coat that fit him from a job ago yawned and didn't cover his mouth. I forgave him before he finished. The morning hadn't earned manners yet. Train station 614. 6 of us, same direction. Nobody said hi, but it was kind. And the train arrived on time somehow. The wind on the platform did the small thing of moving everyone's hair the same way. It made us look like a chorus line that had not been told which song. The train came in, and the 6 of us stepped on like the world was a small offering. We took our seats facing the windows and held our coffees with both hands. Train station 614. 6 of us, same direction. Nobody said hi, but it was kind. And the next station was 12 minutes. There's a kindness that doesn't speak, the kind that just stands on the same platform, going the same way you're going, at an hour that asked nothing back. Train station 614. 6 of us, same direction. Nobody said hi, but it was kind. And the city woke up gently around us. The train pulled out.
halfway across. The river kept moving, I didn't, and that was okay tonight. I was the still part of the picture. The first delivery truck of the morning passed behind me going south. I felt the plank shift 1 millimeter, like the bridge was a slow accordion. The water below is that color it gets right before sunrise in winter. A blue that knows it won't be blue much longer. Once the orange shows up at 6, halfway across. The river kept moving, I didn't, and that was okay tonight. I had my hands deep in my coat. A jogger came up from the south side. He nodded once, kept his pace. He understood what I was doing without anyone explaining anything. I'm not stuck, I'm just calibrating the exact speed of the next month. The river was teaching by example, and the bridge was being patient halfway across. The river kept moving, I didn't, and that was okay tonight. I'll cross the rest when I'm ready. Stillness isn't the opposite of going. It's just the breath between 2 steps. The world will still be moving on the other side, whether you cross now or in 5 minutes. Halfway across, the river kept moving, I didn't, and that was okay tonight. And then I walked the other half slowly. The river kept going. The river kept going.
La 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 la. One mitten lost December, the other one in my pocket. I didn't look for the missing one. New habit, both hands tucked in. The right one was the better one. It had a small bear stitched in. I lost it in front of the library, or maybe the bus stop, I'm not sure. I retraced 2 blocks once half-hearted, and I gave up before I tried. Some things you don't get back, some hands you just keep warm yourself. One mitten lost December, the other one in my pocket. I didn't look for the missing one, and the cold was not the boss tonight. The kid at the crossing had matching mittens tied with a string. Through her sleeves I watched her hand come up perfectly, and I felt a little smile, small and warm. I could go buy a new pair tomorrow, or wait it out till next week. Either way, both hands in pockets is a kind of self-hug I can afford. One mitten lost December, the other one in my pocket. I didn't look for the missing one, and the night came down gently. Losing one of a pair is a small lesson in the math of letting things go. You can replace, you can grieve, you can adapt, and all 3 are honest options. December, the other one in my pocket. I didn't look for the missing one, and I bought a new pair on Saturday.
Office stairs, 7 floors. Took them instead of the lift. Stopped on 3 to catch myself, and the building did not judge me. The stairwell light came on by motion, 2 floors at a time, polite. I took my coat off after the second and carried it folded the rest of the way. The handrail had a chip on the left side, right at chest height. I noticed somebody hit it with something heavy once, and the building remembers quietly. Office stairs, 7 floors. Took them instead of the lift. Stopped on 3 to catch myself, and the next 4 flights waited. A coworker came down past me at 5. She didn't ask why I was here. She gave a small upward chin, the kind of nod we save for the weary. I started again, 2 steps slower. The breath came back at 4.5, and by 7 I felt approximately fine for a Monday in January alone. Office stairs, 7 floors. Took them instead of the lift. Stopped on 3 to catch myself, and then I took the rest at my pace. Catching yourself is not a setback, it's just a small midpoint contract. You'll get to 7 either way, and the lift will be there next time, maybe. Office stairs, 7 floors. Took them instead of the lift. Stopped on 3 to catch myself, and I sat down at my desk a little proud. The door clicked open.
First snow conference room, nobody else noticed it. I smiled for 1 second alone. The presentation went on without me. The slide on the screen said Q4 Outlook in a font someone chose 4 years ago. But behind the screen, behind the blinds, the sky was doing its first soft thing. The flakes were the small kind, the early kind you only see if you happen to look up. I happened to, by accident, perfectly at the corner of the window's edge. First snow conference room, nobody else noticed it. I smiled for 1 second alone, and then I went back to the slide. The director was making a good point about metrics in the next quarter. I nodded at all the right places, and the snow kept falling behind him. I almost said it's snowing to the room, but the timing wasn't right for it. And honestly, the snow didn't need a whole conference room to validate it. First snow conference room, nobody else noticed it. I smiled for 1 second alone, and the meeting ended on time. Small joys don't need an audience, they just need a window and a second of inattention from the world to slip in past your guard. First snow conference room, nobody else noticed it. I smiled for 1 second alone and walked back to my desk a little lighter. The snow kept coming.
28th, just past 5. One sticky note he left behind. I didn't read it, I just sat there. The drawer was clean, but not all the way. A paper clip in the back corner. The label on the side of the desk had his department code, not him. The plan he kept by the monitor was gone by the time I came in Monday. Maintenance took it, or his wife did. The dust ring is the only proof. Year in, empty desk. 28th, just past 5. One sticky note he left behind, and the office was almost quiet. The whiteboard had his last sentence on it. We'll follow up next year in a smiley, drawn in the kind of marker that doesn't erase, the kind he always used for jokes. The window over his chair was the good one. The afternoon light comes in slow there. He used to call it the spy hour, and nobody else used the phrase. Year in, empty desk. 28th, just past 5. One sticky note he left behind, and I sat in his spy hour light. Some people leave a small inheritance of phrases nobody else uses. You carry them quietly into next year, and nobody else will notice the source. Year in, empty desk. 28th, just past 5. One sticky note he left behind, and I finally read it on my way out. The spy hour ended. Mm-hmm.